All right, so we're knee-deep with upcoming content for a lot of games next week. Season 1 for Battlefield 6, the Arc Raiders launch, and everything in between. But today, as a creator who built a channel around it and because it's some substantial information in regards to the upcoming game, credit where credit's due. Black Ops 7 offered up a massive update for the game's content offering. So today, we're taking a look at, while still being in the thick of all this stuff with upcoming content, wanted to take some time to let you know of everything else going on outside the recent content bubble of stuff. So drop your thoughts as we go along, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all things FPS content, Battlefield, Arc Raiders, and yes, when the time comes, even Black Ops 7 for its launch. I'd love to have you in the community as we chase down 700,000 subscribers, but for now, let's get into what you should know. Earlier today, both the Call of Duty and Treyarch social channels ended up posting about their Season 1 preview. Yeah. Before the game even launches, we still have a couple of weeks before that, we got a rather in-depth look at what Season 1 will entail. Now, we don't know exactly when that will be coming. We know of one date associated with the game before Season 1 after post-launch, that being November 20th, but we'll get there in a second. They detailed that this will be the biggest season of post-launch content in franchise history. Now, yes, that's something that is commonly referred to with some of the sort of marketing and jargon they use for talking about post-launch seasons, but this one actually, quantity-wise, does seem to hold up in that case. They previewed Nuketown 2025 just a week after launch, again, that November 20th date. 7 maps coming post-launch in Season 1, a zombies core map with 2 survival locations taken from Ashes of the Damned, being able to be played individually like you can with the farm at launch. Plus, more to be announced in that capacity for maps, zombies content and augments coming forward, holiday LTMs and events, and a lot more. They talked about in a dev blog coming along with that as well, detailing specifics, adjustments from the beta where Toshin, the update for that map, saw connectivity in the upper lane while keeping sightlines in check. That tackling something that I personally had an issue with the map, where there was that large lane in the upper side sort of train station area that, I mean, there's a hard point there, so it was a focal point of the map, but to get there, you couldn't get there from mid-map, you had to go out and around. That's now been adjusted where you can get there from mid-map. They said there were automatic door updates being made, so we'll see that across both launch and post-launch maps. Weapons of the Maddox coming back from Black Ops 4 was already teased. The crossbow and ballistic knife coming in Season 1. Thus, also for those that remember it historically, meaning sticks and stones will be coming with Season 1. They also said prop hunt will be coming. There's a new streak called the Deadeye drone coming, and yeah, they detailed a lot. Again, just under a month away from the game's launch to begin with. So like, kind of crazy they spilled the beans on all of that already. But that's on top of recent news that we heard from another dev talk about multiplayer changes and gameplay adjustments based off of, crazy as this sounds, player feedback. ADS and dexterity changes, aim assist changes, footstep adjustments, slide tuning, perk distribution updates, perk combinations, faster mantling speeds, and even more. They broke this down a couple of days ago, talking about some of the core mechanics, saying ADS while sliding, diving, and wall jumping is now default in Black Ops 7. You can still equip dexterity for maximum fluidity, but you don't need it to aim down sights in all those situations, which is a great change. That was one of the things that, having played the game even earlier before the reveal of the game, we told developers at Treyarch, they were like, hey, listen, like, this is going to be a problem. It's going to be a crutch where dexterity is going to be the only perk in whatever category you put it in being taken, because it is that necessary. So to have that stuff now at a core, but then adding a little bit more benefit to it if you take the perk, great job with that, I think. They said they're redistributing several perks to incentivize varied playstyles and make sure slot 1 isn't so stacked. So Tech Mask goes from slot 1 to 2, Scavenger from 1 to 2, Cold-Blooded to slot 3, Looper to slot 3, and then Tax Burner being pulled from slot 3 into slot 1. They also said they're combining a handful of perks to support even more playstyles, where Shadow and Engineer are going to be combined, Vendetta and Assassin combined, Bruiser and Close Shave, Hunter's Instinct and Tracker, and Quartermaster and Gearhead. All of those are being combined to take sort of like weaker perks on their own, but in a sort of similar fashion, offering some of the almost like class identity benefits of those, combining them and making them more worthwhile. They also said the team is focused on aim assist strength across all ranges, as well as rotational aim assist and the requirement for the right aim stick to be moving in the direction of the target on controller, with more details to come. So that kind of stuff, like, those are big changes. Aim assist, of course, also being a huge one, just touched on at last. Like, those are all core tenets of the gameplay experience we've seen the last couple of years being changed in drastic ways based off of player feedback. And that's on top of additional recent announcements of open matchmaking with limited skill considerations when queuing for the full launch of the game, lobbies staying together, and all that kind of stuff. So all I can really say is credit where credit's due. Like, I know that this game is not going to be for some people. It is going to be something they're too far gone. They don't want to give it a chance. And dude, rightfully so. Like, more power to you. Understand entirely. But credit where credit's due. Out of the last 5 years of the game not making any real changes to benefit off of player feedback, this is all based off of player feedback. The game was revealed in a terrible capacity and state. I personally think how they revealed the game, what they showed, did them no favors, in my personal opinion. With the current state of the scene, they probably even pushed more people to competitors. Like, of course, you saw all the comments on the videos here on the channel, the videos on official channels for Call of Duty. Everybody was like, this made me pre-order Battlefield 6. Where, sure, that might have been a meme to some people, but I'm sure for a lot of people as well, it was a legitimate thing. But the beauty of competition, finally, is that we have these companies fighting over our playtime, and as a result, we as players win. Had the market not had some great and fun games out right now, do I think we'd see these changes in major communication being something that is a sort of staple leading up to launch? I mean, we've seen more communication and like more feedback sort of blogs talking about, hey, we're doing this for the players, more than I can remember in recent history. Like, I know that we've seen communication before launch be a thing, but like, with this much major change to the game, I can't recall having that happen. Like, Modern Warfare 3, Sledgehammer did a good job. They talked about that kind of stuff. They made adjustments and everything. But, like, it seems like Treyarch is on a 4 to 5 day rotation here, giving us a larger update and communicating directly to the community things the community wanted to see, which is sick, man. Like, hell yeah. I say all of this knowing plenty of devs who work at all the studios, Treyarch in particular as well for this discussion, that greatly care for their game. They want to do right by the community and the players, but they're severely limited from a publisher side of things. Activision and Microsoft in this case, they don't want certain gameplay mechanics to be made. They don't want certain communication to be had in some cases. Like, that's just the red tape of having a big financer, big backer, greenlighting these projects that have final say. So to have the stress of that kind of relieved, this sort of, oh, we got competition, so do whatever to make it work, that's awesome. And I genuinely think that's where this thrives, like a little desperation and pressure to make our time more worthwhile. Now, whether or not this holds throughout the cadence of the post-launch content, listen, I'm not expecting this to be the case. I'm not expecting every single season to be the biggest season in post-launch history in the franchise. I certainly wouldn't be mad if that's the case and they keep this pacing up. But whatever the pacing, they're throwing it all down for this launch window of the first few months, which to me, again, hell yeah, man. I won't say no to more and more content from developers pushing this all towards us, trying to win us back in regards to that. Now, here's the thing. I know there's still going to be plenty of Battlefield better or whatever, and hey man, more power to you. Like, I get people will not want to play this game still. I get more people will come back and be like, dude, awesome. They made some great changes. This is sick. I'm just here to tell you about what's new and inform you on what I'm currently enjoying, what I'm currently looking forward to in the gaming space, in hopes that maybe you can enjoy it as well. I think there can and always has been this interest by distinct groups of the FPS genre of people who prefer one more than the other. Then there's people who just like games and recognize both can coexist, both can be enjoyed by people who enjoy them, and there's no shame in people having fun with either or. Now, what Black Ops 7 becomes later down the line, I can't speak to that. I'm sure that we can make the safe assumptions that it will turn into more collaborations, crossovers, perhaps introduce some elements that we aren't too fond of, and that player interest will trail off after a certain period of time. January, February, March, that happens every single year to a T. Season 1 honestly being that sort of like inflection point where every single year when Season 1 happens for the Warzone integration, the content to follow, that's when people kind of like turn on the game. And of course, this might be a little bit different because people have turned before the game even launched, but like there's no denying that all of that will happen. But like as an appetizer, I love before a main course that I'm trying this different every single time I go out. I know that I'm going to like the beginning portion of that. It's just the fun, enjoyable bit to me. But where we go after that, who knows? Going day by day, or for the sake of the analogy, meal by meal, is how I'm taking this. So, hey man, maybe it's right up your alley, maybe it's not. But again, credit where credit's due. I do think that the pressure of the industry, these changes we're making, I think they're all good things for Black Ops 7. but I totally understand where it might not be still something that really draws you in. But for those that are interested, it's getting even better for you. So anyways, want to fill you guys in here on this, talk a little bit about this because, like I said, I mean, we built our audience here based off Call of Duty. I've been having a lot of fun with other games right now, looking forward to more content in other games, but it's a COD launch. We'll be talking about it. Want to fill you guys in on all the happenings for that. So drop your thoughts down below, drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe to stay updated with all things FPS content. Again, Battlefield 6 Season 1 next week, maybe a BR launch as well. Arc Raiders also next week, and then COD's launch with Black Ops 7 a couple of weeks later down the line. I'd love to have you in the community for all that, but anyways, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. Take care, and peace.